Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Franchising 360 Show, brought to you by FranCoach. I am Tim Parmeter, and with me, as always, is the lovely and talented Miss Danielle Wright.
Hi.
Danielle, we have, I know these are always your favorite, we have a guest coming on tonight.
I know.
I'm excited about this.
Are you really excited? I can tell. You've got like beads of sweat, you know.
Is it? Well, you know, the bright lights.
Nervousness.
Bright lights of the studio. We got an in-person guest. Like, we got to make sure we're on our best behavior.
Yeah, normally they're virtual. Yeah, I got it. But I'm excited about the guest because it's a business model I don't know a lot about, but something I am intrigued to learn more.
Yes, and I love I love the kind of the unsexy home service brands.
Yes.
And this is one of them.
You've got an affinity for home service right now.
I do. I like, let's be honest, I kind of like all franchises. But this one's kind of cool.
So the pressure on me for us to choose a home service franchise is just,
I want you to choose whatever's best for you for us.
Okay.
This is what I would like you to do.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. So we've got him coming on here in a minute. What do we got tonight for the Friday franchise fun facts?
We're just jumping into the fun facts. Like, we don't have anything else that
we got to get to our guest.
Oh, okay.
We got to get to our guest.
So Friday fun fact. Did you know about 200 to 250 brands become a franchise every quarter in the U.S.?
Really?
Yes. So quick math there, genius. How many is that in a year?
800 to 1,000.
Very good. I'm so proud of you.
Good job. Hey. Fight me. So, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Like, even for us, that sounds like a lot.
Right. Because there are 4,500 franchise brands operating in the U.S. currently.
Add 252.
So if you add 1,000 a year.
Right.
I mean, obviously there's some statistics that those don't really but those, what that means is a business has gone and gotten an FDD and they are able to sell their concept to someone that might want to operate them. So maybe they do, maybe they don't, but that's what
they may not get to it, or they may just have a few, or be localized.
They are legal within the U.S. to be able to sell the trademark of their business as an operating franchise. Look at me, all legal and stuff.
I know, and honestly, that you kind of threw me off with that fun fact, because that was more than I thought.
It is a fun fact, right? That means there are a lot of people that are out there starting businesses on their own. Don't know why, but now we've got franchise opportunities to show people. And
with that many, again, it's kind of why we exist at FranCoach a little bit too, to be able to weed through all of the noise and all of the different things.
And on the other side of FranCoach, it gives us the opportunity to help them be amazing brands with growing strategically.
Yes.
With the right people.
And
the right systems and all the things, which lead to an exceptional brand we get to talk about tonight.
We do. And I think one of the things, and we talk about a lot of different things probably repetitively in this, but it's all brand new to people looking at franchising for the first time, is how different franchises can be behind the scenes, even when they do the exact same thing.
Right.
And the one we're talking to tonight, we have 2 or 3 other brands that we work with kind of in that same little niche and little segment. All vastly different. Not right or wrong, but just very, very different.
So when are you going to drop the nugget of who it is and what it is?
You know what? That's a great thing. I'm going to do that right now. So we've got coming up after the break, joining Danielle and I will be America's Swimming Pool Company. I wonder what they do. We're going to find out.
Not drowning.
We're going to have our good friend Roger Ewart, a franchise development manager, joining us here on the Franchising 360 show right after this. Hey, we are back here on the Franchising 360 show. Danielle Wright sitting dangerously close to me. And because we have it is a little scary. We have a guest joining us in studio today, the one and only, the franchise development manager for America's Swimming Pool Company, Mr. Roger Ewart. Roger, thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having me here, Tim.
Are you ready for this onslaught?
100%. Throw it at me. I love you guys.
I think he's ready.
You think he's ready?
Deals in swimming pools. I mean,
I know, and I really want to hear all about.
He's not drowning.
What could America's Swimming Pool Company possibly do? But this is franchising is a people business. Mm-hmm. Give us a little scoop on how you got into this crazy world.
Sure. So, about 12 years ago, I was a franchise support director for a brand came in from coaching owners in the private sector and so forth. And so I would help to get them onboarded, trained, launched, break even, going to profitability, Super Stride awarded convention, moved on to a VP of Ops position, oversaw 800 franchises in 32 countries, and that was a real learning curve, but worked out really well. I did very well in that role. Then moved on to another VP of Ops and Dev, kind of effectively a COO position at a different sports franchise, which was terrific. And then found Authority Brands with an essential brand, and that's where I'm at now.
Awesome.
He's looking at me for questions. I'm going to go more development, right? And he's probably going to go more consumer. Okay. How does having that ops background that you have historically had played into helping people find if American swimming pool is the right opportunity for them?
It's a great question, Danielle. Thanks for asking. The lens that I don't have rose-colored lenses when it comes to development. Having the operational background taught me what to look for in a great franchise owner. Transparency, being upfront and direct, not hiding anything, the good, bad, and the ugly. Everybody wants to hear the things that could possibly scare them off.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. I just tell them in an appropriate manner so I don't scare them to death, obviously, because we've placed quite a few candidates together.
It's ownership. It should scare you a little.
Yeah. It should. And honestly, if they don't go into it with a little bit of fear, I'm a little bit of afraid that they are not well planned and can't, navigate those things. So that's helped me tremendously in being very structured and clear and transparent with the candidates, and they appreciate that from what I found.
So what's, from a consumer standpoint, America's Swimming Pool Company, we got something to do with swimming pools. Mm-hmm. Talk about some of the services and who those customers are.
Yeah, so we're cradle to grave. We'll do anything from the maintenance of it, the service, the repair, even renovate your pool when it's about time, 7 to 10 years down the road. And those are very lucrative jobs. We've gotten heavy into that. And now we just started about a year ago a hot and heavy into pool installation.
Oh, wow.
And so we have an entire division. It's optional to our owners. They don't have to do it, but these are $80,000, $100,000, $120,000 jobs. The largest one we're building right now is about $450,000.
Wow.
That's like some years for franchise owners in business. So we've got some pretty high-level guys that have been doing it for some time now. And of our 150 owners with 392 units, we had about 63 sign up for that program.
Okay.
My rookie of the year, or they call it new star of the year, is a 23-year-old girl from North Carolina who dropped a pool in year 1.
Oh, wow.
Unique story behind her is that she grew up with muddy boots. Dad was a landscape contractor, E-2B visa, people coming in, living on their property, no problems with marketing and sales and dealing with homeowners. And she got the award going across stages here. It's like a proud dad. She's only 23. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All I have is wow to say. So, but now my next question, we're in Florida for the viewers that are watching us. How does that, is there more popularity in states that have more pools, no pools, or are there states without pools?
Like or states that were
so many questions.
I know.
Right. How do you guys attack that?
So we peel it apart in 2 different ways. The ones that have all the pools, we know that they're there to do all those different revenue streams that we talked about. That's just done. But they never stop growing. Homes keep adding them, even in Florida, where we're dense population, 20 to 30% penetration, as it's called, with a pool home to single-family residents.
Okay.
Let's turn to cold climate, Michigan. Believe it or not, there's a ton of pools in the north, and up in the north, it's unbelievable, really. And if a pool is there, it needs to be serviced, even though it's a shorter season. The opportunities are incredible. We placed an incredible candidate in Michigan, you and I.
Yeah.
And I can't thank you enough for that, because if we could rinse and repeat that about 400 times over, awesome. You'd be, like I said, I'd be washing your car every day. He's a terrific guy. He really, truly is an excellent operator, award-winning in year 2. And how does he do that? He does indoor renovations during the winter and all sorts of stuff. So he's doing lots of big jobs.
And there's the thing, like if you live in the South, you don't understand opening and closing your pool.
Yeah,
that happens
you've
there.
Said that to me numerous times. I'm like, what is that?
And or the fact that there's more of a premium on being outside and being in the pool in Michigan than there is in Florida. And you've said this for years, it's like, oh, it's 60 degrees and you're bundled up in a parka walking the dog. they might still be in the pool, right?
Yeah,
in
they like
Michigan.
it. They like it chilly, like those ice cube divers or whatever they do. You know, and the polar people, they polar swim.
Yeah.
Not my thing, right? I was thrown in a pool at a very young age in April in Maryland, and I hated it, right? Swim team for 7 years. What can I say? Right. It was like, no, don't do this. This is like child abuse.
Right.
But no, they don't mind the temperatures, but we also have heaters that'll compensate so they can have an extra month of swimming on either end of that spectrum. But there's actually, they charge so much more. It doesn't matter that it's a shorter season. The revenue's all the same. And it's a recurring revenue model every month they're paying anyway throughout the year.
Yeah. And you're still selling, right? You're still out marketing 100%. In the winter. And there are some people, and I know for our couple in Michigan, there was also the opportunity to have some time at the holidays and just not have to be super stressed with things from a work standpoint.
It was the first time in many years he'd ever been home for the holidays.
Yeah.
He's got young kids playing volleyball and dance and so forth, and being home for the holidays meant everything. So it was really a lifestyle decision. He didn't want to be traveling all over, and he was working, he had a terrific job, very smart guy.
Right.
And in franchise.
With a franchise. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and he ended up choosing my franchise, which I'm honored that he would go that direction.
Yeah. Which does speak a lot for that. We want to get back into America's Swimming Pool Company and some of the support mechanisms. We're going to do that here in a minute when we come back on the Franchising 360 show. Hey, we are back on the Franchising 360 show. With me dangerously close to my right is Danielle Wright. And, at a safe distance over here, we have Roger Ewart from America's Swimming Pool Company. Roger, talk a little bit about owners. If I wanted to own, and I'm just going to go with ASP because the rest of it's really long.
That's fine.
So if I want to be an owner of ASP, does that mean I have to be out there all day, every day, cleaning pools? What's that look like for me?
So some of our owners choose to do that, and that's up to them. That's not our vision for what we'd like them doing. We'd like them managing the people that are doing that and really running the show. And so some of them will start in the truck, no problem at all, because we will teach them how to do that. It's not exactly high stress work. Right. It's kind of fun. You're in the backyard, and it's peaceful, it's quiet. No homeowners have to be home during that. But the idea is to build up those accounts and then pass that on very quickly. Have a trainee with you. We'll teach you how to train. And then get out of that role and keep building your routes and building your routes and building your routes until eventually you hire a general manager that takes your job and you're focusing on the fun stuff, which are the larger jobs and customer relations. And if you're ever, as an owner in our system at year 3, talking to Mrs. Smith about her water chemistry, you're doing something terribly wrong.
Or you've just chosen to do that, but even then you don't really want them. You want them elevated up.
I have an owner who is just pool crazy. He refuses to get out of his truck. He loves working on pools. He has 12
But I was going to say,
people.
but he's happy, isn't he?
Oh, he's doing great. He's award winning. And I'm like, when are you going to become the COO? Get out of that. Work on, not in. You've always heard this, on, not in. And he said, Roger, I just take the jobs I love. The high profit jobs that are easy, and all the rest go to my people. And I'm like, that's okay leadership, right? I mean, he's making his own decisions. We really let them drive that, but oftentimes they'll start with themselves and a right-hand person. The largest regret of my owners is that they don't hire that key person sooner.
Yeah.
It's funny that you said that. We were recently having this discussion, like we always do, because how are you married to someone and work both in franchising and not talk about it all the time? But the debate that we were having is, as franchise owners, you want to grow, you want to scale, you think you want to own and scale and bring on people. How much does the franchise impact a franchise owner with ASP, right? Like, do you tell them, hey, by year 1, you should be doing this. By year 2, you should be doing this. Is it the amount of revenue the business is doing? Is it the amount, I'm assuming, is it trucks and people? Like,
are the owners guessing, or are they need some help?
And are you proactive in that coaching? Because that's 100%. Where we were. There are some franchises I've worked with that are not. They're like, this is where you go, but they're not giving you any guideline to stay in those rails.
And that it would be a dismal failure from an ex-ops guy's. I was the guy who did that for people.
Yeah.
I would never represent a company who didn't do that and do it very well. Most of our incredible business coaches are actually multi-million-dollar producers.
Okay.
And they own a franchise.
Oh,
they kind of get a little bored when they have everything. And so we're like, hey, let's put you to work here, and give them a decent pay rate. And they have 20 or 30 owners under them to reproduce what they've done. And they're in their senior years usually at that point. Yeah. And, they're looking to mentor others. A lot of military guys and ladies are attracted to us for that community involvement thing. Okay. And they love to give back. So you'll find a lot of that in our system.
So you guys really do hone in on like how their business is operating and help them get to that next space if they want to.
Tremendous support. I mean, when you're first launching 1 to 3 contacts per week for the first 90 days, and then monthly without question for the entire year, and a visit one or two visits in the first year alone. Give me the worst thing scenario and I will do it for you. The coach is going out there in the field with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally.
And the coaches that have literally also been there and done that from an ownership standpoint as well. Yeah.
Both. Yeah.
So tell us how are you a parent company? Are you a platform company? How does ASP work with Authority Brands?
So we are one of 14 brands under the Authority Brands umbrella.
14.
14.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
We are a legacy brand, so we're one of the most mature brands in the system. Stuart Vernon was the founder, and this is back in 2001. Our president of the brand is the very first franchisee, and his wife was in there cleaning pools with him, and now she's the director of marketing. And it's a really great, tight-knit family group. A lot of people that are in the administration owned pools, including our head trainer, who's a certified pool contractor as well, who is their first-year guide. Talk about high level, right? Yeah.
Right. And talk a little bit, and I've heard this, I've not had a chance to see it, even though you've graciously invited me there
shame on you.
To the home office. Danielle wouldn't let me go. So,
it's always my fault.
you're talking about the pool and cleaning pools, like you're going to, as a franchise owner, we've got a whole kind of headquarters where essentially like a training facility, correct?
It's tremendous. It's 2.5 acres with 13 pools, indoor, outdoor.
Whoa.
We're going to be constantly installing more, right, as we go. I mean, there's a lot of land, but there's about an 8,000 square foot indoor training facility. So, in the wintertime, we still train. We have heaters in there, et cetera, and it's massive. They can learn everything from the water chemistry, of course, to the repairs. We have a mechanical section, which they will not be electrocuted or flood the place because it's not live. We teach them how to do it. And I don't care if you haven't picked up a power drill before, we can teach you how to do this.
Yeah.
So I've barely swam in a pool, much less have to take care of one. This would be a business I could own.
In 2 weeks, it's kind of like boot camp for pools, just a lot funner than boot camp. The worst thing is you're going to fall in a pool,
Which maybe could be kind of comical.
And maybe voluntarily, right, with your group, your people that are with you.
We don't like
so long as you can swim. Yeah. No. So you go through all that training, the marketing training, QuickBooks training, systems training, and vision as well, vision board, right? So you're going to talk about what your 1 year, 5 year, 7 year, and exit plan is.
Okay.
In those 2 weeks, we're going to go all the way to that, and they're all exit plan. I just bought this franchise, and it's like, no, let's start thinking
Start with
about
the end in mind. Yeah.
the end in mind. Right? Stephen Covey.
Yeah. There we go. 5.
And he's teeing us for like a couple weeks down the road to talk about exit plan too.
True.
But that's down the road.
Yeah.
Next,
I mean, all the things.
Next, after this last little break, we're going to come back with Roger, talk a little bit more about America's swimming pool company here on the Franchising 360 show. Hey, welcome back to the Franchising 360 show. Tim Parmeter with Danielle Wright and our guest from America's swimming pool company, Roger Ewart. Roger, talk to us a little bit about, I got so distracted by all of that.
Numbers. Ideal candidate. Tell our viewers what ASP makes them special because of the numbers.
Yeah.
And then who makes an ideal owner?
Sure. So numbers wise, what we call A and B students in our network, average net profit on our A students, which have been around for quite some time. They're seasoned veterans, and let's not kid ourselves.
Not just month one, right?
Not month one. Let's be honest here. Yeah. I'm transparent with my owners about that. Their average net's about $352. And that's net profit, all add backs. I always get that question. If you buy an F-150 Raptor, you don't need that for this business. It would be the balance of the F-150 normal, right? Et cetera. That we would consider that. If you're going out to Morton's, that's included, which we encourage. Right. The B students are averaging about 146, and that range can go all the way up to 246. Total average net in the 6-figure range. So is this a 6-figure business eventually? Yes. It's a 1, 2, 3 year climb.
Okay.
To build the client base and to hone your skills to get to the next level, to do some of the larger jobs in renovation and construction, which are very big ticket items.
Okay.
That gives the owners, but some of those bigger ticket items give the owners that want to grow a larger business that opportunity. But the bread and butter is just from that maintain standpoint, you're going in,
that's right.
Every week, whatever that cadence is. And as from owning a pool before. I just want pool people to show up because I don't want to do it.
I remember you told me that when you first met. It was like, I just don't want to touch my pool.
I don't want to touch it.
So in our industry, it's so fragmented. The reason that Stuart started this whole thing is that there was just, and it was a very rural area with very few pools, and he made it wildly successful. He's a brilliant guy, so he was exceptional at business, and I love him to death. He's just a good leader. But that goes to prove that, and we typically give people about 3 times that number of pools, by the way, in a territory. So 0 excuses that you can't do what he did 20 years ago.
Right.
But it's so fragmented, and the competition, quite frankly, they're just unprofessional. They're unreliable.
Yeah.
They can really jack things up pretty quickly, and then you're having to pay another guy, and they could come and go, and that's not good. We are professionalizing this industry. We have the top talent and the top trainers, online portals for training. They can send their staff up to us anytime in Macon for education, and just get them there. We'll teach them everything for free.
Yeah. And you talked about some of the revenue numbers, but this is from a pretty low level investment, right? We don't need some big massive retail. We don't need much of anything to start with, right?
Correct. It's home based. The average investment 84 to 207.
Okay.
Why the range is the question I always get, and it's got everything to do with the size of the territory, aka how many pools.
Right.
Because that's operationally more expensive because you have to service that many more, so you need more trucks, more wraps, more insurance, more people. Right,
okay.
Tool sets for every truck, and then of course how many pools you have to advertise to, right? And that's varying, and so we will gladly cater a territory to your client's financial position.
Right.
The faster you can invest in those items. For instance, I have a guy who came from the UK, literally just got married, brought his bride over, and she's now got a job, and he started this thing, and one guy in chuck on a truck, we call it, right?
Yeah.
One pullers, which we don't want to be, but we wanted to give him a shot, and he's, calling me in 4 or 5 months down the road, hey, I broke even. I'm like, well, what is break even? Then I got the guy up the road who's got 6 trucks in year 1.
Right.
Wow.
Well, what does the horizon on year 2 look for each one of those? The guy with 6 trucks is going to blow him out of the water, right?
Right.
And come over winning. So we'll do both models is the bottom line. We'll cater it to your client.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of the beauty of franchising, right? It's personalized. It's whatever somebody really might be fine with 1 or 2 trucks. And if they're happy, everybody's happy. I mean, the franchise is still going to nudge them, right, for growth, but it really does give you that opportunity.
Yeah. I'd like to see people with a vision of an average of 7, and from an economic standpoint, that's like the goal on average. I've got a guy with 32 on the truck a day.
Wow.
What do you want to be when you grow up? I can't tell your client, but I can absolutely say this is as big as you want it to be. And the opportunity is endless, and you can scoop up competitors under you and fold them in. And buy out their guys will come running.
Literally going down that path.
They'll come running to you for a brand new shiny truck.
Yep.
Treated with respect and dignity and professionalism. A clean uniform every day.
Yep.
And a buck or 2 more per hour. Right.
Yeah.
And they'll come
and not have to worry about the hassling of finding the customers or billing.
And community piece, right? Like I think people forget, like we say, hey, we want to build community with our customers, but you're still building that same community with the people that work for you, and they want that. They don't. If you really want to be out on your own, you're going to be out on your own. But the reality is you're going to want to be with people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I do have smaller owners with the 4 and 5 and 6 trucks, and they're perfectly happy with their lives. And I've got your empire builders who are like, I want the world. And then I'm good. But
so
we can support
for whatever you want, whatever it is you're looking for. We're going to make sure that it kind of works.
And we want to hit more about your owners and some of those traits, but we are flat out of time here. Can you stick around and talk a little bit more? We can have this show up on our YouTube channel.
I'm thrilled. Absolutely.
Nobody ever says no to that. I can't figure out why.
Because you're on TV. We're not telling you no.
So, that's it for now, but the rest of this interview with Roger at America's Swimming Pool Company and all of our content is on our YouTube channel. There's a little QR code probably right somewhere next to me, probably on my face if they're doing it the right way. FranCoach.net also is where you can check us out. But until next Friday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, that's Danielle Wright.
That's me.
I'm Tim Parmeter, and this has been the Franchising 360 Show.